Welcome to Hong Kong, kids. Forget the glistening towers for a second, yeah? This ain't no soulless financial hub. This town, this concrete jungle draped over green peaks, it's got a pulse you gotta feel to believe. We're talking about a city crammed onto a sliver of coastline where ancient temples huddle in the shadows of skyscrapers and the scent of incense mingles with the steam rising from street food stalls. Yeah, they got Michelin-starred restaurants, but trust me, the real action, the real heart of this city, it's in the steaming bowls of noodles slurped down on plastic stools, in the clatter of mahjong tiles, in the neon-drenched alleys whispering stories of old and new. So, come hungry, come curious. We're about to dive into the beating heart of Hong Kong, a place that'll grab you by the collar and show you what it means to truly live. First things first, you gotta get the lay of the land. And there's no better place for that than Victoria Peak. Yeah, it's touristy, but for good reason. Hop on the Peak Tram, this antique funicular that's been hauling its way up the mountain since what feels like forever. As you climb, the city unfolds beneath you like a crumpled tapestry of concrete, steel, and emerald green. Get your cameras ready because the view from the top, let's just say it'll make you a believer in this city, especially at sunset, when the skyscrapers light up like a constellation and the harbor glitters below. Now you can wander the fancy peak tower, but me? I'd find a quiet spot, maybe grab a beer from a vendor, and just soak it in. This is Hong Kong in all its chaotic glory. A city that never sleeps, a city that never stops reinventing itself. And look, if you're feeling adventurous, ditch the tram on the way down and hike the trail. It's a bit of a workout, but hey, you gotta earn your dim sum, right? Forget your fancy cruise ships, kids. In Hong Kong, the best way to experience the harbor is the old-fashioned way, on the Star Ferry. For less than a cup of coffee, you can hop on this iconic green and white ferry and glide across the water between Kowloon and Hong Kong Island. The breeze whipping through your hair, the salty tang in the air, the symphony of boat horns, and the murmur of the city. It's a sensory overload in the best possible way. Trust me, this ain't just a ferry ride, it's a journey through time. You'll see grizzled fishermen casting their lines, sleek yachts owned by guys with more money than sense, and those iconic red-sailed junk boats, a reminder of the city's seafaring past. And as you approach the skyline, a forest of glass and steel rising from the water, you'll feel that familiar tug, the one that tells you you're on the verge of something special, something unforgettable. Just try not to get too lost in the moment and miss your stop. It happens to the best of us. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Temples, spirituality, not exactly my scene. But trust me on this one. A trip to see the Big Buddha on Lantau Island is an experience you won't soon forget. First off, you gotta take the Ungong Ping 360 cable car, and if you're feeling brave, go for the crystal cabin with the glass bottom. It's a hell of a view, especially as you ascend over the lush green mountains and the South China Sea shimmers in the distance. Now, about the Big Buddha himself. This ain't some dusty relic tucked away in a forgotten corner. This bronze behemoth sits atop a mountain, radiating a sense of tranquility that's almost unsettling in a city as frenetic as Hong Kong. Take your time, wander around, light some incense if you're feeling it. Hell, even if you're not a believer, there's a sense of peace up here that's hard to find anywhere else. And hey, if nothing else, you can tell everyone you climbed 268 steps to reach enlightenment, or at least a killer view. Night falls, the neon signs flicker to life, and Temple Street transforms. This is Hong Kong after dark, a symphony of sights, sounds, and smells that'll leave you wondering what hit you. You'll find everything here, from cheap souvenirs and knockoff watches to jade trinkets and silk pajamas. Bargaining is expected, so channel your inner hustler and don't be afraid to haggle. But the real reason to come here? The food, of course. Street vendors peddling steaming bowls of noodles, skewers of mystery meat sizzling on grills, and enough exotic fruits to make your head spin. Get lost in the labyrinthine alleys, grab a beer from a kiosk, and just soak it all in. This is Hong Kong at its most authentic, a raw and unfiltered glimpse into the city's soul. Okay, I know what you're thinking. Disneyland in Hong Kong? But hear me out. This ain't your average amusement park. It's got that signature Disney magic, sure, but with a distinctly Hong Kong twist. Think Mickey Mouse speaking Cantonese, dim sum shaped like Disney characters, and a distinctly Asian flair to the architecture and landscaping. Yeah, it's crowded, it's commercialized, but there's something undeniably infectious about that Disney magic. So embrace your inner child, hop on a roller coaster, and let yourself get swept away for a day. And hey, if you need a break from all the cuteness overload, there's always the Mystic Manor. It's like a haunted mansion on acid, and it's definitely not for the faint of heart. So, you've done the theme park thing, now it's time for something a little wilder. Ocean Park is a Hong Kong institution, a sprawling complex that combines a marine park, an amusement park, and a zoo all rolled into one. You can ride roller coasters that'll leave your stomach in your throat, come face to face with giant pandas and marvel at sharks and dolphins gliding through the water. But the real highlight? The cable car ride to the top of the mountain. The views are breathtaking, stretching all the way from the city skyline to the South China Sea. It's a perfect blend of thrills, chills, and educational value. So yeah, it's a bit touristy, but sometimes you just gotta embrace the cheesy side of travel, right? Tucked away amidst the high-rises and neon lights is a place of serenity and hope. Wong Tai Sin Temple is a riot of color and incense smoke, a place where locals come to pray for good fortune, health, and maybe even a winning lottery ticket. Now, I'm not exactly the praying type, but there's an energy here, a hum of faith and desperation that's hard to ignore. Watch the devotees shaking bamboo sticks for fortune readings, lighting incense, and whispering their hopes and dreams to the gods. Even if you're not religious, it's a fascinating glimpse into another side of Hong Kong, a reminder that beneath the modern facade lies a city steeped in tradition and superstition. And hey, it can't hurt to make a wish, right? Just in case. Sure, it ain't Hollywood Boulevard, but Hong Kong's Avenue of Stars has its own unique charm. This waterfront promenade in Tsim Sha Tsui pays homage to the legends of Hong Kong cinema, from Bruce Lee to Jackie Chan and beyond. Stroll along the harbor, check out the handprints and statues of your favorite stars, and maybe even catch a glimpse of the Symphony of Lights, a dazzling laser show that illuminates the skyline each night. It's a bit cheesy, sure, but hey, that's part of the fun. And the views of the harbor ain't bad either, just try not to get run over by the selfie sticks, yeah? Need a break from the urban jungle? Hop on a bus and head to Stanley, a seaside village that feels a world away from the hustle and bustle of the city. You can browse the stalls at Stanley Market, a treasure trove of souvenirs, silk garments, and Chinese art. Bargain hard, my friend, because the prices here are a bit inflated. Afterward, grab a cold beer at one of the many restaurants and bars lining the waterfront. Or better yet, head to Stanley Beach, stretch out on the sand, and soak up the sun. It's the perfect place to recharge your batteries before diving back into the urban chaos. As the sun sets over Hong Kong, a different kind of energy takes hold. And nowhere is that more evident than in Lan Kwai Fong, the city's notorious nightlife district. This maze of narrow streets and alleyways is packed with bars, clubs, and restaurants, all vying for your attention. Whether you're looking for a craft cocktail, a pint of Guinness, or a night of dancing till dawn, LKF has got you covered. Just be prepared for crowds, noise, and a healthy dose of debauchery. This is where Hong Kong comes to let loose, so pace yourself and don't be afraid to dive into the madness. Just remember what happens in LKF stays in LKF, or at least that's what they say. So there you have it, kids. A taste of Hong Kong, from the heights of Victoria Peak to the neon-drenched streets of Lan Kwai Fong. This city is a sensory overload, a chaotic symphony of sights, sounds, and smells that'll stay with you long after you've left. It's a city that never sleeps, a city that's constantly evolving, a city that'll challenge your perceptions and leave you wanting more. So, pack your bags, book your flights, and come experience it for yourself. Just don't forget to bring your appetite for adventure. Thanks for watching our ultimate travel guide to Hong Kong. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more travel tips and guides.